what do you fight for? Like, there has to be a reason that you get up every day and go to the gym. And there has to be a reason that you go in and get your ass handed to you in the gym every day and compete with the best of the best in just the gym atmosphere.
I would have to say the biggest reason is I'm just selfish. I don't like to lose. I want to be the best, and I'll do anything to win. So if it means I have to go to the gym 3 times a day, sweat, so I don't get tired in that third round so I can break you, that's what I'm going to do, and that's why I do what I do, because I'm selfish. I want more money than you. I'm going to get more money than you. I'm going to hurt you to get that. I'm going to try to knock you out. I'm going to try to get fight of the night. I'm going to make it a war. I know you just want to get in there, get the win, go home, and see your family. I want to make you bleed. I want to make you limp for a month. I want to hurt you. And that's I think that's the difference between most people and me. It's like they want to get the win. They want to get to that next level. They want to be ranked this. I want money. I want to hurt you. I want people to know, like, when they're fighting me, they're like, shit, like, it's going to go the distance, and even if I win, I'm going to be fucked up at the end. I'm going to be bleeding. I'm going to need stitches. I'm going to have a broken orbital. He's going to hurt me. And that's my goal. I just want to hurt you and just break you. And I don't want you to do that to me, and I'm selfish. And I'm going to do that to you. So that's how I look at it. Even when people ask me if I fight for my kids or anything, it's like, no, I don't even think about my kids when I actually fight, because I don't want to bring them into this shit. This shit's barbaric, I'm going to do it because I want to hurt you. I want to beat you. I want to be the best. And I'm going to. So that's it.
So let's talk about that other side of it, about being a parent and how is it that you balance the family life and of course this life? Like you said, on one side it's barbaric. What's it like on the other side?
Family life is not too far off from cage fighting. They're both pretty barbaric. Well, no, the family life, I love my kids. They know I love them. We enjoy each other's company. We watch cartoons. That's good for them because I still watch cartoons. And we hang out. My wife's awesome. She's a 2-time All-American from LSU, really athletic. So she knows what I have to put into the sport. She knows what she put into her sport. So it's just, it's a pretty good family dynamic. We got 3 kids. We just had our last one in December, boy. Got twin girls before that. They're going to be 3 in the end of this month. And just they keep me busy. Before I had the kids, I partied a lot. Like, I'd fight, party for like 3 months. Have to get back in shape, go through a camp, fight again, party. Now it's like I fight, there's no party, I just hang out with my family. That is my party. So it's like I just want to fight all the time. And I was taking fights on short notice in the UFC, and I was pretty active. And that's I don't know, just trying to stay busy. I love my family, and that's about it.
What drew you to the sport?
Well, growing up, I saw it occasionally on TV, and usually it was bad news, like it's a blood sport, this and that. But, the more and more I started to watch it and understand it, most of these guys had years of experience either in, like, kickboxing or wrestling or jiu-jitsu, and were really skilled athletes, and just, it seemed like the next step. It seemed like, because I was wrestling at the time, seemed like the next place to go. I could make money doing it, and instead of just wrestling moves, I could kick, I could punch, I could knee, I could submit people. It opened up a whole new world to me, So that's why I got involved. I was like, why am I just doing this one-dimensional sport when I could do all this stuff and make money? I had one amateur fight. It was at the Mohegan Sun. Took a guy down, beat him up, with key locked him, and ripped his shoulder out of socket in like 45 seconds. And then got on the Ultimate Fighter and ran first fight in the house. I broke a guy's jaw in 3 spots, and then lost my next fight to Tim Perdor, who's I think 33 at the time, and I was 22. I was just a kid, and then got invited back, and I was in the UFC for about 5.5 years with a record of 9-3.
You had some epic battles in there. Everybody loved to see you kind of slug it out and go balls to the wall in the fight. So tell us a little bit about some of those fights and what that experience was like, being able to go straight into the UFC and stay there for so long.
I love the experience in the UFC. There's nothing better than fighting not only in front of millions of people that are watching on TV at home, But most of the time we fight in their arenas and where they're having fights. I fought in the Bell Center, and there was over 20,000 people there just screaming. Just so having those kind of experiences, I think that turned me on to having more like warlike fights, instead of just playing it safe. Also, the UFC would, you know, contribute and pay a lot more money to you, by performing the way. You throw on a fight of the night, you get hit, you're bloody, you're more likely to make an additional 50K than just your show and win money.
Now, tell us a little bit about the thought process there when you go into a fight like that, and like we were talking earlier, right? You have the ability to, make a hell of a lot more money, having a great fight and taking more risks, or you just kind of go in, win, and collect a smaller paycheck. So tell us, what's your thought process is going into some fights?
I remember the first time I ever went, out of the ordinary, went out of my box to get that bonus was when I fought Sean Pearson. And I remember right after weigh-ins, we're all drinking our Gatorade, eating our food, and Dana White comes in to tell us what the bonuses are. He was super excited, the biggest crowd in MMA history. It was at the Bell Center, like the second card or first card there, and the bonuses were $100,000. I just had 2 kids, and there was I was going to get that fight of the night, and that's what I did. I was throwing flying knees, karate kicks, just running forward, throwing 1-2s, and it'll definitely. I would rather fight and get paid $100,000, even if I lost that fight. If I got the fight of the night, $112,000 in one night. That's a down payment on a house, a down payment on a car, and taking care of stuff for at least 6 months up until I have another fight. When I fight, I like to win, of course. But my goal at the fight is at the end of the fight, I want that guy to know I won. Like, even if he wins on the scorecards, I want him to know, like, if this fight went on another fucking couple minutes, I would whoop your ass. And if you watch any of my fights, Sean Pearson, Lance Norris, any of the fights I lost, those fights had one more round, I would have TKO'd those guys or knocked them out in the 4th or 5th round. Like, I know it. And just because they were tired, they didn't want to be there anymore, they were bleeding, they were not there. They weren't happy anymore, and I was just ready to go, keep going. I think that's, I like to make people quit when I fight. I don't necessarily want to, like, I do want to land the crispy shots, and I do want to get that flash knockout, but I get more joy out of making somebody quit in the 3rd round, and you can tell, like, they know they lost already, and they can't do anything about it, and they quit already. And I think that's just a good feeling, because that's also one of the hardest things to do to another fighter, because they want to make you quit. So to make somebody that makes people quit for a living quit is awesome. And that's my goal, and that's how I like to fight. And just fighting that way, you end up with fight of the nights, and you end up, because when you want to break somebody, grind somebody, make somebody break, you have to push a pace, and I like to push that pace.